You know, like,
Okay.
he gonna check it real quick.
Ka.
Like, real quick, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here every week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom and to usher in the return of our King Yahweh Shai, and the praise of our Father Yahweh, upon this earth. But before we start this lesson off, we're gonna go into Revelations chapter 20. Yahweh runs us out. We can get through at least most of the chapter. The spirit take over. You start going to other precepts. But we want to say, Kal,
Kal.
Alayim,
Alayim.
La,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai,
Yahushai.
Bahashem,
Bahashem.
Ha,
Rakah.
Kodash,
Kodash.
Ma'amah.
Ma'amah.
All right, double honor to the elder apostles, the GMS, and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. All right, let's get right into it, man. We're going to go into Revelations chapter 20. Let's start at the top.
Revelation. This is Revelation chapter 20. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan.
Right. So now let's start from there. It says what? And I saw an angel. That angel that is talking about Yahweh Shai. All right. He's the one that has what? The keys to hell and death. Let's get that. I think it's Revelation 1 and 18. Yeah. Let's get that real quick. So that angel that controls whether we go into slavery or not, or whether Esau goes into slavery, who rules upon the earth, that angel is talking about Yahweh Shai. All right. The keys have been given to him. All right. Go ahead, brother.
This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 18.
Yep, keep rocking.
I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore.
Right, hold on real quick. Get on. Alright, you got the military helicopters out here, man. But he said what? Yahweh Shai says what? Behold, he is alive forevermore. Because he's the one that's going to free us out of this bondage, out of this death. All right? Out of this hell, man. He's the one that's going to do it. He's the one that's going to bring down the beast, which is basically Esau, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
It says, Alman and have the keys of hell and death.
Right, so let's go back to Revelation 20 and 1. Somebody get Daniel 4 and 17.
This is back at Revelation chapter 20, verse 1.
Right.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven.
Right, that's talking about Yahweh Shai, man. All right, go ahead.
Having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand.
That's right.
And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan.
Right, that's basically the Western, what you would call the Western Roman Empire. All right, the Roman Empire at the time, man. That was the fall of the Western Roman Empire, really, which started around the 1st century AD, during the times of Nerva, going into Septimius Severus, and then all the way up until the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 410 AD. All right? Okay, so the Lord, Yahweh Shai set that up. Go ahead, brother, you got it? Mm-hmm.
This is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17.
Yep, Psalms 103 and 19, I mean.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the words of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it unto whomever he seeks. Like.
1 second. Yeah, we good. I go read it again? All right. All right.
This is Revelation 4 and 7. I mean, it's like Daniel 4 and 17.
Right, we're talking about the angel that came down with the great chain in his hand. All right, go ahead.
To the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whosoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men.
That's right, man. So the basis of men represented Esau. All right, they're the lowest low life on the damn earth. And the Lord set them up over us, man. Brought them out of the damn Petra and Edom, the caves, and raised them all up to what you see today. From the Roman Empire all the way until now. The great eagle spoken about in what's that? 2nd Ezra 11. We might get there as well. All right. So now let's go ahead. So that's the dragon that it's talking about, man. Today would be the European Union, but back then it was the Roman Empire. All right, and it came out. The Lord put them into a pit, ran them up into the mountains, and put them on a lower level for 1,000 years. All right, and after that, they came out of the Caucasus. Out of those areas, and came down into what? Constantinople, and took back those eastern parts of the Roman Empire, and re-raised the western leg of the Roman Empire, and later called it the Renaissance period, the rebirth in the 1400s, 1600s. All right, so that's when they were reestablished and came out of the pit, because Europe used to be called a pit, a place of lack of minerals and lack of righteousness, man. There's nothing but wickedness there. All right, so that's the pit. We're gonna go back down so you can increase that.
All right, this is Job chapter 30, verse 5. They were driven forth from among men.
That's Esau.
They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys and in the caves of the earth and in the rocks.
Right, and then you had the Nabateans ran them out of there around what, the 8th century BC. All right, go ahead.
Among the bushes they buried, under the needles they are gathered together. They are the children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler. Is it viler?
Yep, viler. Yep.
They were viler than the earth.
Right, man. So they violent than the beast of the earth, man. And also it said more violent than the earth. You know, what was the last word? What was it? They dwell in clefts of the rocks, right? Go ahead, one more verse.
All right.
Among men and brave, right?
All right.
They were the original caveman. You want to know who Captain Caveman is? It's Esau, the one they turned into Captain America.
Damn. Job 30 and 7. Among the bushes they brayed, under the needles they were gathered together.
That's right.
They were the children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth.
There you go, man. That's why the scriptures say children rule over us. They're the children of base men. And the Lord said he raised up over us the basis of men. You see that? He raised up Esau.
It says,
and now we're on the body, he's gonna raise us up. All right. Right? Yeah.
It says, and now I am their song, yea, I am their byword. They abhor me, they flee far from me, and spare not to spit in my face.
Right. What they sing, the songs of liberty, all their damn songs of battle, it's basically about taking us into slavery. Even Christmas that they celebrate is a celebration of them taking our people down over there in England. What's his name? I forgot the damn devil name. It's a European version of Santa.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Santa Claus. And that represents them bringing us down over there, man. The Moors, which are Israelites.
So
they celebrate it today. That's their song. You know what I mean? No, you get brother.
In Sweden, it's either Sweden or Norway. It's either Sweden or Norway, but it's common for people. It's common for the character Santa Claus to have with him a helper named Zort Pete, which is Black Pete, and he's pretty much just a slave that helps him out.
Just a little niggler.
He can't. Right, now they'll paint their faces black. Yeah. So be like, oh yeah, Zort Pete, Zort, and
yeah. So that's their song, man. Independence Day, 4th of July. They celebrate their independence. They put them in the more slavery. All right, go ahead. Let's go back to this for now. Somebody got that in Psalms 103 and 19? Go ahead, brother.
All right, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 103, verse 19. The Lord hath prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all.
Keep going. That's right. That's right. Is there any more on there? You see something? He said, right. The Lord has prepared his throne in the heavens, man. And he ruleth over all, even over Esau's kingdom, man. The Lord is ruling over it. All right. All right, let's go back to this. So he's the one that has the keys to hell and death, man.
All right, this is 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6.
that was a good point.
The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. He maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Yeah.
He,
Right.
Slucky.
No, you got
He raised up the poor out of the dust and lift up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillar of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them.
right. So the Lord is about to raise us from among the dunghill, man. All right, the pile of shit that we in. All right. That's what the Lord said he's gonna do. And he can raise us up out of the condition we're in, so we'll be back on top again. All right, because he has the keys to hell and death. He's the one bearing that chain that put them in, that brought down the Roman Empire and then raised them back up. All right, go ahead, brother.
Con, this is back in Revelations, chapter 20. You start at the top. Verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right. So look at Revelation 12:3. All right. So he bound him 1,000 years, all the way from the 2nd century going into really the 1st and 2nd century going into the 12th century AD. All right. So 1266 AD with the Ottoman Turks, when they came and took down Constantinople and started taking those places back, and to build up their Edomite Roman Catholic church. All right. Until the 1400s, then you had slavery. That was when King Ferdinand sold 100 slaves to Pope Innocent VIII. 1488. Go ahead, brother.
This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 3.
Yep.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven.
Yep. Another wonder in heaven. Go ahead.
And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
Right. What's that? NATO and the European Union. All right. And European Union was started in what? 1957? With the what you would call the Treaty of Rome, right? It was 1957. All right, go ahead.
Verse 4. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered.
All right, that's how you know who the dragon is. It's talking about who? Herod. All right, Herod the Edomite. And that's how you know who the dragon is. That goes into the Roman Empire. That's who he was with. All right, he was set up by Julius Caesar, and that's who started the Roman Empire. Really with Augustus Caesar. All right.
It says, and the dragon stood,
strong,
and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Right. Who is that child? The same one, that same angel that has the keys to hell and death, man. That's why the angels came down here to worship him and praise him when he was born. They said the whole room lit up. Hey, Shalom, the whole room lit up with light from angels at the birth of this child, Yahushua. All right. Why? Because he was going to be born and he was going to go up into the heavens and they were going to cast crowns before his feet. And he was going to be given the keys to hell and death, man. All right. To free us from this bondage, man. Go ahead, brother.
And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron.
There you go. That's him, man. Same angel. All right. That was it. That's the point, right? A little bit more. Go ahead.
And her child was caught up unto Yahweh and to his throne.
Yep. You know it's Yahushua. Yahushua is on the right hand of the Father. All right. And when he went up there, he was given dominion over everything. All right. And that's Revelation 5. I'll tell you that whole process. They cast their crowns before him. Let's get back to the point. No, somebody get Revelation 6 and 4. Okay.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Right. That's talking about Alexander. Right. Go ahead. That's talking about Alexander. You know, the Esau. You know, that was really the establishment of Esau ruling. All right. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai set that up. All right. We ain't got to go into that. I'm gonna move off that topic. Get on the point. Let's go back to this so we can stay on the point.
This is back in Revelation chapter 20.
I said 6 and 5 and 6 and 4. 6 and 4. Yep. Good, man.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the keys of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand.
Right.
And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right, and that's in Revelation 6 as well. What it say? Not say all comes at the working of Satan.
Second Thessalonians.
Yeah, 2 Thessalonians. Look at that. All right, so that's that old serpent. All right, it said what? That old serpent, the dragon, that serpent. What does it? Serpent mean? To twist. All right, they twist up the truth, man. All right. It says which is the devil, man. They are the deceivers. So the Lord got a judgment. That's the whole mount of Esau, man. Okay? And it says what? And Satan. So they're the adversary to the truth, the contender to righteousness. Man. They're the wicked. All right? Go ahead, brother.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first.
All right, we fell away in the Roman Empire in 70 AD. Go ahead, brother.
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
There you go. So it's being revealed today through the scriptures, through the prophecy, man. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, through the spirit of truth. All right? And they say what? The son of what is it?
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Yeah, the man of sin, man. The man of sin, the man of wickedness. That's Esau. Is this the man that deceived the whole world? That word deceive going to being a devil. All right? No, that was on that. Right? Oh, no, keep on. My bad.
Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitting in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Right. So he want to sit in the seat and act like they're God. You know, the games they're playing today in the medical field and in the world, you know. You know what they're up to. All right, go ahead with the New World Order.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
This is his time. This is his time to be brought down. All right. You know, Esau at the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that follows. Go ahead, brother.
For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Right. So the Lord was letting us know that the eagle, which is the Roman Empire, was already working. All right, Esau, they were already working. They were already in place doing their wickedness, man. He was like, yo, they're already around you. But they're not going to be revealed that they're the Edomites until the last days. All right? Go ahead. But at that time, people weren't focused on your color. At that time, they were focused on your religion, your beliefs, whether you was an Israelite or whether you was a commoner. All right?
Says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Right. So they got to be taken out of the way by the one that has the keys to hell and death. The great chain in his hand. Go ahead, brother.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Right, man. That's right. He's consuming him with his word, man. The spirit of his mouth. And we represent his mouthpiece. All right. So they're being consumed with this word. This gospel shall be preached unto all the whole kingdom of the earth, man. All parts of the earth. And then shall the end come. All right. Let's get back to it now.
This is back at Revelations, chapter 20, verse 1.
Yep.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan.
He about to lay hold on him again. Man. All right. He's going to take them out of the way. Okay. Move them out of the way.
And bound him 1,000 years.
Right.
And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal on him that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season.
Right. So now that little season is talking about right now, man. They've been loosed since the 1266 BC, AD, Salaki. 1266 AD. They've been loosed and running rampant. It's called the rebirth, the Renaissance period, the rebirth of the Roman Empire, which later became the European Union and NATO, and then America. They took over the whole world and established this dollar as fiat currency to deceive the other nations and rob them of their resources. Now they want to bring in a new world order. How you doing now? And what? And depopulate the earth and enslave everybody with their technology. All right, go ahead, brother.
Verse 4, and I saw thrones.
Oh, my bad. Somebody get 2nd Ezra 11 and 37. All right. And now the focus is he was bound for 1,000 years. All right. Because now, as Revelations, if you know Revelations and other prophetic books in the Bible, it bounces around. All right. So the point stops there. All right. At the 1,000 years. Now this is going into something else. 2nd Ezra 11 and 37.
All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 37. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the woods. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will walk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the 4 beasts?
Right. Let's talk about the Roman Empire. All right. What's that? Daniel 7 and 7. Let's get that. All right. The 4 beasts. The fourth beast of the prophecy of Daniel is talking about the Roman Empire. Okay.
Daniel 7 and 7.
Yep. That's the one that remains of all those beasts that was the statue of Nebuchadnezzar. You know, from the Assyrian Empire, which was the Babylon, which bled into the Babylonian Empire, and then to the Persian and the Medes, then to the Grecian Empire, then to the Roman Empire. That's the 4th kingdom. Let's get it. Daniel 7 and 7.
This is the book of Daniel 7 and 7. After this, I saw in the night a vision, and behold, a 4 beast, dreadful and terrible.
There you go. That's that 4th beast. All right. Dreadful and terrible, man. Why were they terrible? We're going to read about it in 2nd Ezra in a minute. Okay, go ahead, brother.
And a strong, exceedingly.
Exceedingly
Exceedingly
strong as an army. They put so much fear into people. They even spoke about them to Judas Maccabees, and Judas Maccabees had to make a treaty with them to go against the Grecians. All right, we might read about that, but it might take a little long to read about that. That's in 1 Maccabees chapter 8. All right, go ahead, brother.
And it had great iron teeth.
Great iron teeth, man. What's that? Their military and their might, and they were taking down armies like it wasn't nothing, man. Slaughtering people and slaughtering our nation. Look at the triumvirate. You know, I keep forgetting their name, who they killed. The triumvirate. Marcus Crassus, what was his name? Pompey and Julius Caesar. They killed Spartacus. That's what they got, Spartacus. All right? And his army, yeah, man. So look at that. Look how they did us, man. They were just slaughtering our people, man. All right. So now the 4th beast, that's the Roman Empire. All right, dreadful and terrible. We know that. All right, go back, brother, to this.
Revelations 6 and 7.
Okay, good.
This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
Right. So today, that's talking about America. All right. Basically, the same Edomites, the beast, the European Union. All right. And they're moving with their new world order. You see that? Okay. And they're using America as the hammer of the earth. But they are as deaf and they are as hell. We're gonna go back to that too later on. Okay. So now let's get back to the point with
Revelation 20.
No, 2nd Ezra.
All right. 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 37. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion.
That roaring lion is talking about Yahushua. All right, when he showed up, he roared after the Roman Empire. All right, he went out there teaching. That's what we're doing. We coming up. Matter of fact, somebody get that? The righteous are opposed to lying. Yep. What's that? Somebody get Wisdom of Solomon 5 as well? 5:1.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1.
Right.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
That's right. We're standing in the spirit of Yahushua, that great boldness, man, that lion, that roaring lion, that roared. All right, the scriptures say the lion shall roar, and who shall not fear, man? He has roared. Okay, go ahead, brother.
It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor.
Right, so that represents us standing in this truth in these last days in the revised Roman Empire called Babylon, America. Standing in the spirit of that same one that was rebuking this place and consumed them with the spirit of Yahushua. All right, the roaring lion. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 1.
Yeah.
The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
There you go, man. The righteous are standing in the spirit, and the righteous are bold as Yahushua. That's the measure that the Lord gave us. All right, not bold as Mike Tyson. You know, not bold as the average fireman that running in fire. We're as bold as Yahushua, presenting our bodies as living sacrifices, man. You know, in faith to Yahweh. Let's get back to the point now. Let's get back to rebuking the Roman Empire, man. The fourth beast. Go ahead, brother.
All right, it says, 2nd Ezra 11:37. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion, chased out of the wood, and I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said, hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts?
That's why he said the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he giveth to whomsoever he will. Go ahead.
Whom I made to reign in my world.
Right, so the Lord made Esau to reign in his world. This is his world. All right. You know, this is Yahushua's world, man. And this is gonna be his footstool. All right, this is his world. But he said what? He said he created the wicked for the day of evil.
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right. And the Lord said it, man. He said the prince of this world cometh. And he has nothing in him, man. Nothing in Yahushua or in the inheritance of the kingdom. All right? Or anything that deals with Romans 9, chapter 9. All right, go ahead.
All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 38. Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I have made reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
Right, so the end of our times came through what? The Roman Empire. That's what he said. The mystery of iniquity already worked, but until he be moved out of the way. You know, so him that letteth will let until he be moved out of the way. So the Lord was saying that through them, Titus and Vespasian, the end of our time, 70 AD, was going to come. All right, that's all they were set up for. The Lord needed some bad guys for the movie. So he created this place. It's like the Matrix, right, brother? So through Esau, the end of our time shall come, and also that's 2nd Ezra. Ultimately, in the end, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, I think it was. Esau at the end of the world. We don't have to get this, right, brother?
All right, it says, and the verse 40, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
Right, man. That's why we read last night. The night is far spent, man. They've been ruling for a long ass time, you know. And he said, "What? They ruled the world with wickedness." All right, they're ruling the world in wickedness. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Look what they've done with it.
Earlier we was talking about treaties. And I looked it up on Google real quick just because I was curious. It says from 1778 to 1871, the United States government entered into more than 500 treaties with the Native American tribes. All of these treaties have since been violated in some way or outright broken by the U.S. government.
Right, man. That's right. That's what they're known for, breaking treaties. Even to this day, you know.
And the scriptures call them truce breakers.
That's right. That's right, man. Yep. Go ahead, brother.
All right, it says,
This goes hand in hand with Revelation 20. All right, go ahead.
all right, verse 40, 2 Ezra 11 and 40. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were passed and had power over the world with great fearfulness and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
There you go, man. They dwelt upon the earth with deceit, man. What does word deceit lead to? Devil. All right, they dwelt upon the earth with their devilish ways, man. All right. He said what? Through the earth is changed from one hand to another. Wicked dealings. Yeah.
Somebody want to get us in the pocket.
Yeah, unrighteous dealings. You know what I mean?
Riches got by the sea.
Yep. Somebody put in the chat. Let me know, man. Rich and gotten by deceit. You know? But we keep going with this thing,
Sirach 10 and 8.
Okay.
All right, verse 41. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth.
Ooh, they didn't judge nobody in truth. They dealing with wickedness. That's why you can't trust them. Scripture say never trust our enemy, man. All their judgment. Look at all our people incarcerated today. You know? Look at what they're doing now with the military and when they come in rushing as a flood, man. All right, go ahead. Is my head up? Yeah, real quick, whoever got it.
This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Right, so that's it, man. Riches gotten by deceit. That's how Esau got this place. Like the brother was just reading, Zariah was reading about them taking this land from the Gadites. All right, everything they got through deceit, man. And even their dealings today are all through deceit. Even the dollar is dealt with through deception. It has no value. It's a fiat currency, fake money. All right. Let's get this. Let's go back to this. I'm done with. Okay, I won't go over here.
All right, 2 Ezra 11 and 41. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek.
Right, that's when they say that stopped out the residue of Israel. They have afflicted the meek. They afflicted us. All right, go ahead, brother.
It says, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwelling of them that brought forth fruit,
right,
and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
What's that? That's Obadiah. That's what do you say? Because that violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
What's that other scripture said? Thou hast hurted them that have been at peace with thee.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right, it says, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwelling of them that brought forth fruit.
Right, that's that motto, that mindset of the wolf protects the wolf. They love liars, man. Go ahead.
It says, and has cast down the walls of such as did no harm, that did thee no harm.
Right, again, we focusing on the Roman Empire. All right, go ahead.
It says, therefore is thy wrongful dealings come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
There you go, man. So it's proud times, man. These are the proud times when the proud rulers are Esau. That same Roman Empire has morphed into a dragon today, which is called what? The European Union. All right, or what you call the banking elite, the shadow government. All right, the Illuminati. All right, go ahead. So the Lord said what? That last part, what is it?
It says,
Oh, yeah.
verse 44, it says, the highest also looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
There you go. So Esau got a certain level of wickedness, and he said he appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. All right. So I get it.
So 5.
So 5. Okay, somebody grab it.
This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty.
Right, because the Lord got a set time and a set judgment for Esau, man. It don't matter what Esau planning. You know, he got a set day when he's done. You can't go past that. Go ahead, brother.
He disappointed the devices of the crafty,
Right.
so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Right.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
Yep.
They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night. So that's how Esau get out. He has all kind of secret councils, and he meet within darkness, meaning behind closed doors. And he come up with these snares in private to ensnare the children of Israel.
All right, let's get back to this topic, man.
Bounds. All right, this is Second Ezra chapter 11, verse 44. The highest also has looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
All right, somebody get Job 14 and 5. Right? I'm glad you brought it back out. That's good. Job 14 and 5. All right.
Job 14 and 5.
Yep, let's get it, brother.
This is book of Job 14 and 5, saying his days are determinate, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
I ain't gonna say nothing. Go ahead, brother.
All right. This is Second Ezra 11 and 44.
Right.
The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
Right. So he looked upon the proud times, and his abominations are fulfilled. They have a set measure that Esau has to meet, and then they done. All right, go ahead, brother. Affliction of Israel.
And therefore appear no more thou eagle.
Oh, now eagle. And what's the symbol for Esau today? Over European Union and the Roman Empire. The eagle. The bald eagle. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
They exalt themselves as the eagle, man. And when did the Lord start bringing them down? Really in the 1960s, when the chariots started popping up. And they went up to set up their satellites in outer space. All right, that's when they really went to exalt themselves among the stars. All right, and then that's when the Lord said he started bringing them down. How? Through the marching around Jericho, through the consuming of these heathens with his word. All right, with the spirit of his word, of his mouth, through Abba Bibbins and Apostle Hard on down. All right, let's keep going. Get that fire, y'all, and get it.
All right. Second Ezra chapter 11, verse 45. And therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads.
I ain't talking about the dynasty. No more the dynasties, the triumvirate dynasty, the Claudius dynasty, with Nero, Augustus Caesar, you know, Titus and Vespasian, Domitian. All right, go ahead, brother.
It says, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body,
Right, man.
that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from the violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
That's what we hoping for. All right, so someday it's not going to appear anymore. All right, but right now we still see it in place. We still see it speaking. That same dragon, that Roman Empire, is still here. So the Lord is going to destroy it. That's how you know it's not the damn Arabians. It's talking about Esau, man, the damn European Union and NATO and America, that establishment is a beast. All right, let's get what's that? Revelation 13 and 11, I think it is. They say, speak as a dragon.
This is Revelation 13 and 11.
Right, we still see the dragon speaking today.
And I beheld and another beast cometh up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Right, when you hear the Bible say a beast came out of the sea, that's what it represents, the earth, all right, meaning people. All right, accumulation of droplets of water, meaning people. Like you see people jumping at a concert. You know, they dive into a sea of people. Or they do the wave.
Crowd surfing.
Huh?
Crowd
surfing. Right, so out of that, accumulation of minds came together and created what you call the European Union. All right, the Lord brought them together.
It says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Right, their Christianity, their paganism, you know, their demonocracy, their new world order. You know, everything that the dragon is speaking, their draconian laws and policies, and especially their great reset that they're doing. All right, they push that through America, all around the world. All right, go ahead. Oh, that was it, right? All right, now let's get back to Revelation 20.
Start verse 3.
Yeah.
Just back at the top.
Damn, bro. Not good. Let's see where we at. Let's go to 3. Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should not deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season.
There you go. They've been loose. They've been loose now, man. A little season, right? The Lord let them loose. Why? Because the Most High said so, to let them loose and run rampant on the earth to set us up now for deliverance. All right, we went past what you would call the middle time. The middle time was during the time of Augustus Caesar, after Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar. All right, go ahead, brother.
Verse 4, and I saw thrones.
Right now it's going into something else. It's talking about the end times. It's talking about now, when there's going to be thrones in the kingdom. The same ones that gave their life 2,000 years ago, they're back here today, being set up to be put on thrones. And the Lord said, what? What's that? Touch not my anointed. They got us one time. The Lord said they're not going to get us this time, man. That's what we have faith in. All right? Yeah, there may be some martyrs, but we pray that there's no martyrs. You know, that the whole 144, but a lot of that's going to come out of the heavens. That number. Oh, yep, you got it. Okay, go on, bro.
Psalms 105.
Yep, we get a precept real quick.
15.
There's the book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 15, saying, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm.
Woo. That's right, man. So now the Lord said, do his prophets no harm, man. He said he's going to give his angels charge over thee, that they shall keep thee in all thy ways. That's what we're praying for, that the Lord protect us as with a shield and give us reward for doing his work, all right, and trusting in him. So what it say again? Where we at?
Verse 4.
All right, so now this is what John the Revelator, he saw on the Isle of Patmos. He saw the same ones that he saw get killed and get their heads cut off and stuff like John the Baptist. Those same brothers are back here today on the earth. He said he saw them sitting on thrones, man. Go ahead.
God. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua.
Right, those same souls are back here today, man. the spirit of the prophet subject to the prophet. That's right. Take your time. It's cool. That's right. Hey, take your time. You can show that. Yeah, man. Cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still, yeah, it looks like a damn pyramid.
Yeah, it does.
I just like the colors on it. Yeah.
1 Corinthians 14 and 32.
Let's get this precept real quick.
13.
Yeah, 14 and 32.
1432. Wait for this precept real quick. Oh, yeah.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
Ooh, that's right, man. So if you was a prophet back then and you were put to death for this truth, man, you know, or you was a believer that was put to death for this truth in the Roman Empire, you died believing, you're back here today to get that reward, to be sitting on the throne. That's what he saw. Let's get it.
This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had his mark upon their forehead.
Right, they're the same ones that's here today. And what was that last part you said?
Neither had his, that did not worship the beast,
Right, they didn't worship the beast.
neither had it.
Oh, they had, my bad. No, you good. They had the witness of Yahushua 2,000 years ago, and today we're witnessing again. And now today we're here to what? To challenge this beast system, the Roman Empire all over again. All right, and they're here today, and what? He said, even if it were possible to deceive a very elect. Right, somebody get Matthew 19 and 28. All right.
This is Matthew 19 and 28.
Right.
And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
There you go, man. So they're the ones. They're back here today to be on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So this was a prophecy of the kingdom, that vision of the kingdom that John the Revelator saw on the Isle of Patmos. All right. You got it, Matthew 24 and 24. All right.
This is Matthew chapter 24.
All right, man, because the elect back then are back here today to challenge this system, man, to show that the Lord's Spirit has been tried 7 times over, and every time we get the victory. Go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 24. For there shall arise false Hamashiach,
False messiahs, yeah.
false messiahs, and false prophets.
Right, so they're going to be false, you know, people claiming to be the Lord, and people claiming to be sent by the Lord.
God.
All right, go ahead.
It says, and shall show signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Right, so even these churches, what do they use? These religions. That's what they use to deceive the minds of our people. And through their idolatry and through their vain and you know, transgression, that means continuing in sin. That's going to lead them down the path of getting that chip. All right, and submitting to this system, the Roman Empire, all over again. All right, but the elect, go ahead. What did it say about the elect? It said, even if it what?
Even if it were, it says, and show great wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Right, so that means it's not possible, man. You know, the same one that stood with Yahushua 2,000 years ago, they're back here today. The one that they killed, man, they killed the prophets, and they're back here today to get that reward and sit on thrones. Let's go, brother. Oh, you got to go ahead. All right.
This is Matthew chapter 16, verse 27. It says, for the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
There you go, man. You gonna do that?
And that's just the prophets being back here today that believed in him 2,000 years ago to come. That's why he said hold fast, because they're here this time to receive their reward.
Right, man. It's me, right? Yeah. All right, let's get it. That was great, man. Yep. Fear of the prophet, subject unto the prophet, man. You know, if you hear and you believe, you walk with Yahushua 2,000 years ago, and you were a witness to him or his believers, like Paul and Peter and Barnabas. Right, brother?
This is back in Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, for in their hands they lived and reigned.
Right, where you at? Verse 4. Okay, good. Now you're okay. Fine. That's right. It said what? They didn't receive them. They didn't receive the charagma in their foreheads or in their hands. That's plural, not singular. You can get it anywhere in your body. You wicked, man. The Lord gonna judge you. All right. That means you submitted to the system and their new world order and their deception. All right, go ahead, brother.
God. And it says, and they lived and reigned with the Mashiach 1,000 years.
Right.
But the rest of the dead lived not again till the 1,000 years were finished.
Right. So those that he saw on thrones, they're gonna reign with the Lord for 1,000 years. What's that? To reign means to usher in the kingdom, to build it. We're gonna have Esau building the kingdom for 1,000 years. That's in Amos chapter 9. And after 1,000 years, what? Esau gonna be wiped off the face of the earth. And then that's when the rest of the elect gonna be the 2/3 that were destroyed on this side, they're gonna be born back into the kingdom. Right? And actually during that whole process. Read that again.
This is but the rest of the dead.
Okay, the rest of the dead represents these nations. All right? I didn't hear that part, my bad. All right, the dead represents these nations, man. What's that? Stir up the dead against thee? All right? So the rest of the dead, what? People like Elam, the rest of the 18 nations, 17 nations. The Lord gonna give them some form of living upon the earth after Esau is wiped off the earth after 1,000 years. All right, read that again so I can make it clear again.
This is Revelation, verse 20, chapter 20, verse 5.
Right.
But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
Right.
This is the first resurrection.
That's right, man. So this is the first resurrection, man. You have the resurrection of Israel, and then you have the resurrection of these nations. All right. The word resurrection means what? To stand up. To stand up again. Okay. All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, and stir up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
There you go, man. That's what it's talking about when it say the dead. It's talking about these other nations outside of Edom, the ambassador of the heathens. And the kingdom, look at the Africa. Remember the Hamite? He's like, I would do this for you.
I would do this for you.
Yeah, like you take Esau into slavery, I would do this. See, they're gonna get some form of living, and they're gonna be happy that we're in the kingdom, that we're ruling. All right, after they get their ass whooped for 1,000 years. All right, and after that, it's gonna be peace, man. Everything gonna be in order. It's only gonna take 1,000 years. That's it to get everything established. All right.
This is back in Revelation chapter 20, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in my first resurrection.
Right, the first resurrection of the nation of Israel. That's when the nation of Israel get taken up in the chariots, and then you have the resurrection of these nations 1,000 years after. All right, go ahead.
This is on such the second death hath no power.
Right, on such that the ones that he saw on the thrones, the 12 tribes of Israel, of the elect. The second death, which is what? The first death was the flood. The second death is what? Fire. All right, the missiles. Okay, the judgment that's coming upon this place is going to have no power over you. Go ahead, brother.
But they shall be priests of Yahweh and of Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
Right now, today we're priests, but the Lord said in the kingdom, we're not going to be priests. All right, we're not going to need to teach each other. He said we're going to be kings and priests, and what? We're going to reign with him 1,000 years, man. So right now, that's the end of that point. And now it's going into another point. That's why you got to understand Revelations, because that was just a glimpse into a vision of what John was speaking of in these last days. All right, so now we got to go back up to the point. Go back up to verse 2, and then we're going to skip back down. What? To verse 7.
This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 2. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right, so they were bound for 1,000 years already. See that? So now it's getting to this point. Go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 7.
Yep.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Right.
And shall go out to deceive.
See, that's the focus. Now it's jumping back to the focus of how he bound them, took hold of them, and put them in chains. Now it's focusing on that topic again. See that? All right. And now it's saying what? After the 1,000 years, they were loose. 1266 AD to run rampant on the earth, all right, and to lead the nations into World War III. But the nation's gonna love it when they see the children of Israel ruling, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
Verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which were in the four quarters of the earth.
Right, man. So they're deceiving all the world, man. Okay, through their deception.
God,
precept.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bow rule, the people mourn.
Right, man. So, speak on it.
All right, so like the elder was saying, the other nations are going to love it, man, when true righteousness is ruling. You know, aka the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. There's going to be no more wickedness on the earth, man.
Brother. Woo! They're going to learn what righteousness is, man. You know?
If you think about it, all the other nations are trying to look for some form of righteousness, but they're not going to be able to find it. But Esau, the only nation that ain't even looking for it, they shit straight deception. That's just straight buffoonery. So
Right.
so Esau wouldn't. It would be the Lord. That's the way the Lord is having mercy on Esau by destroying him after those 1,000 years, because Esau will be tormented forever being in a righteous kingdom, seeing that they're just strictly an unrighteous nation, man. There's no way they could be righteous at all. No, they can't be good. They can't be shit good at all.
It'd be like running over a deer and be like, I gotta put out this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It'd be a change wrong.
Right.
That's right, man. We're gonna read a couple more verses. We can wrap it up. Come back up tomorrow. With it. Finish up the rest. Go into the death and hell and all that. That'd be great. All right. Where we at? Let's finish up some more real quick. That's the next part.
this is Revelation, back at Revelation chapter 20, verse 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle.
Right. That's talking about who? Gog and Magog. All those Eastern Eurasian countries, even China. You know, they're in the southeastern part of Asia. But then you got the Eastern Eurasia, which is Russia. All right, what you would call what they used to be called the Soviet Union. All right, so they're all coming back together, and they're bringing this war against America and against the beast. They're establishing their world order, going against the Illuminati's new world order.
And that ultimately goes into Ezekiel 38.
That's right, man. Gog and Magog, man. Okay, so let's keep going. Very good. Go ahead, brother.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 8. And it says, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth,
right.
Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city, and fire came down from Yahweh out of heaven and devoured them.
There you go, man. So that time is coming, man. So Yahweh Ratazah, we can get out here tomorrow and go more into the rest of this chapter, where it goes into us being delivered from death and hell, and also the lake of fire, you know, which is going to be a lot of precepts on that. So it's be some good eating. Now, somebody grab, let's end it with this right here, man. 2nd Ezra 12 and 31, all the way to 34. All right, because the Lord has a judgment for Esau, and he's going to burn them up right here in the lake of fire, man. You know? That's right. And also that fire is going to follow them and consume them in the kingdom. You know, Esau. That's the judgment he got for them. Fire. Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 35. 51, verse 25. It says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain.
God, that's what I was thinking in my head, man. Go ahead, brother.
Saith the Lord Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth.
Right, man. So Esau destroyed all the earth, man. So the Lord said he's against their whole nation, especially in this place, America, Babylon, man.
And I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks.
Right, man.
And will make thee a burnt mountain.
There you go. So this is going to be a burnt mountain. This is going to be the lake of fire. All right, we're going to go into that tomorrow. Y'all run this out. All right? Let's go get this. We're going to bring that back up.
This is Second Ezra chapter 12, verse 31. And the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood, and roaring and speaking to the eagle, and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all his words which thou hast heard.
Right, God allow you, man. How about sit down with y'all, man? He said, behold, I live it. He's still out there, man. All right, go ahead, brother. Oh, you got something?
No, like
oh, a little light.
It says, this is the anointed which the highest hath kept from them, and for their wickedness unto the end.
He hath kept for them.
It's like that.
Yep.
This is the anointed which the highest hath kept for them, and for their wickedness unto the end.
Right. So they're the problem, and he's the answer. All right. He said, what? Sit here at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Who's the enemy? Esau. To Jacob. All right.
And he shall reprove them and shall upbraid them with their cruelty.
Yeah, cruelty.
For he shall set them before him alive in judgment.
He said, what?
Bring him to me alive.
Yeah, so like in Revelation 1 and 7. Right, man. And that's what this scripture goes with death and hell. All right. Going to be cast into the lake of fire. He's going to set them alive in judgment. They walking around here now. The same Edomites that killed our people 2,000 years ago, that killed the Yahushua, that played a part in it. They're back here today. Who got it? Revelation 1 and 7.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen.
That's right, man. Every eye shall see him. Even the 2/3 of Jakes that pierced him 2,000 years ago, that were in cahoots with the Roman Empire, man. You know, with Pontius Pilate, right? And Agrippa and them.
This is 2nd Ezra 12 and 33. For he shall set them before him alive in judgment, and shall rebuke them and correct them.
Right.
For the rest of my people shall be delivered with mercy, those that have been preserved upon my borders, and he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment.
So he's making us joyful right now. That's why we have joy in our spirit. He promised us that, to make us joyful until the day of his coming, until the day of his judgment, man. Instead of being fearful of that judgment, he put joy in our spirit. You know, because we know we're covered by Yahushua. We know the sacrifice he made.
Whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning.
Right. That's right. You got to be predestined, man. Keep on. Right. No, that's it on that, man. We ended with that.
I haven't yet.
You got any injustice here? Of course, go ahead, bro.
This is book of Sirach, Sirach is Ecclesiastes. Come on. It's 11 and starting 5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never doubt of hath worn the crown. Many mighty men have been greatly disgraced, Salakia, and the honorable delivery into the other men's hands.
All right, so basically, but the pride of Esau, he doesn't believe that. He don't think that could happen to him. But that's a faith booster to the elect, because because 2/3 of our people think that this devil's going to continue on forever. But the scriptures say there have been many before him with the same type of pride. Look at Nebuchadnezzar, and they have fallen, man. So the Lord has set the bounds that this devil can't surpass, and you're witnessing the downfall of the infrastructure of this system, man. The spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua being lifted up within his elect, within his borders.
Right, man. All right. Not bad. Somebody, I'm gonna end it with this one. This is Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, man. All right, and that's them today. But the Lord said, what? Everything they build up, He's going to throw down, and He's going to upset the devices of the crafty, man. That their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right, so we wanted to break that down. That was Revelations 20 on who the angel is and who's really running things. So you'll know and you'll believe that Yahweh is with you when they come in rushing like a flood. You'll know that they don't have the power. Yahweh told the Romans, he said, yo, you would not be here unless my Father sent you. When they came to grab him. He said he knew that. We got to know that. When they come to knock at that door, we know that it's time because the Lord want to deliver us, man. All right, so with that, we're going to end it. We're going to say, Kal,
Halayim, La, Yahweh,
Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahushai,
Bahashem, Ha, Waka, Kodash, Ma'amar.
Double honor to the elder apostles, the GMS, and the elders. Shalom, shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth, man. Can't forget the children. Shalom.
So I was on the phone with a person earlier, and I was breaking it down for him. And I said,